Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Is there a doctor in the house? Yeah.
Deep in the heart of Chicago, she's on the radio, yeah. She is the one and only Dr.B. Dr.B.
Hey there, hey everybody. Is there a doctor in the house? Why, yes, there is. I am she is me, and me is her. Me, she, her is in the building. And oh, what a glorious time I've had on today. And I'm saying that because the Lord woke me up this morning. That's all it is to it. The Lord woke me up this morning, and I'm ever so grateful, so thankful for the Lord waking me up on this morning. Well, y'all, guess what? Me, she, her is here. I am she is me is her. Me, she, her is here. Y'all hear me? I am here. I've had a long time off. I'm remote today. I'm at home. Do I look like I'm okay, y'all? Because I feel a little bit okay. I had to make myself up a little bit and come on in the building. Listen, I have a show for you tonight. I had a guest. Don't know where my guest is, but I'm here, and I'm going to tell you all something. I have a nice show for you on tonight. I have something that I want to talk to you guys about on this evening. If you can hear me, send up some hearts. I need to know that you guys can hear me. My audio is good. She is here. So y'all listen, what I want to talk about, y'all know I come with some controversial things. I have something I want to talk about. I want to talk about relationships and being single. I want to talk about relationships and being in a committed relationship. I want to talk about relationships and being married. That's what I want to talk about. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, let me know. I want to know from you all, what is it like to you to be single and be out here in this church scene, in this gospel music industry, and being single? Has someone singled you out? Has someone pinpointed you and said, well, she can't get nobody or he can't get anybody because he's a major musician and he don't need to be anyone, or she's a gospel recording artist and she doesn't need to be anyone? How does that make you feel? What does that do for you? You're singing, you're giving God the glory, you're giving God all that's due him. And people are coming up to you saying, well, this, and this. I want to say this to you. Being single, I found it to be hard. To me, it was hard because I had been married for so long. My husband was a preacher. My husband was a minister. My husband was a pastor. My husband was all that. Yeah, I have an umbrella. I have a real big umbrella, you all. But with them being that, how could she be a gospel recording artist, if you will, and she is married with full-time job, nursing, truck driving, selling insurance, driving a bus. A lot of people know me as the singing bus driver or the singing nurse. Well, I did all of that and was still able to maintain my relationship with my husband, being in church, being a Sunday school teacher, being a praise and worship leader, being the president of the choir. I did a lot of things, and with that being said, it wasn't always easy. I didn't always have of the people on my side. I really didn't. And that's the part of being married. I had to juggle 2 children, a husband, a job, and school because I was in school. As you all know, I do have a PhD, a doctorate degree, a master's, and a bachelor's. I have all, y'all listen. I'm still paying for all of that stuff. I'm paying for all of that, but it wasn't easy. My husband told me to just wait for him to finish school and to get through things so that he could better take care of the family, and he did. Absolutely, he did just that. Being married and in the gospel music industry wasn't always easy because I was on the go a lot. A lot of I sing with Chicago Mass 28 years and going, although my membership, my activities, my attendance has been down very low with Chicago Mass because of my illness, because of my health. At one point, I thought that I was going to have to resign from the choir because I felt guilty of not being there when I was the first one in, last one out. That's how I was, front and center, just that choir member. I love to sing, ministering to God. That's just my thing. I love to sing. Being married and doing all of that, my husband didn't understand it after a while. Why is everybody, calling on you to do these solos and to do all of this other stuff? It is that you do, you people calling you to go preach and everything now, and it got to the point to where he got mad. But then after, and I have to be transparent, my husband and I separated for a while. It got to the point where he told me, he was like, I was jealous. Because the people are calling you to sing, the people are calling you to preach, you're going to be a motivational speaker and all of these things. You're going overseas with this big choir. He was like, and I'm just going to work. But that he chose, that's what he wanted to do. That's not what God gave me. God gave me a voice, be it singing, be it teaching, be it ministering through the word, being the counselor that work, the program manager, whatsoever it is that I'm doing, the nursing, God gave me a voice and I have to use that voice. So being musically inclined and being married for so long, that is ups and downs. And it turned on me after a while, because my husband did get jealous and he was like, okay, well, I got to go. I need a break from all of this. Bye. I hope you come back refreshed. I hope you get an understanding while you're on your sabbatical. I don't call it a separation. I call it a sabbatical. You don't take sabbaticals from marriage, y'all. You just don't. But my husband did because he was a pastor and he had to see what was going on with him and to make sure that it was conducive in the spirit of the Lord for his wife to be out here singing and everything like that. And personally, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but he found something wrong with it. And I thought that it was okay. Now, let's backtrack to where I started being single and in the music ministry. When I was out there single, I had a group, uh, Bernetta and the Voices of Faith. We singing for Jesus. I'm all in Danville, back and forth in Chicago, doing all kind of stuff. I'm singing, but then I did have a group, Bernetta and the Voices of Faith, the Voices of Faith, and we were just some singers from high school. And even at an early age, I'm singing, y'all. I'm out there singing. And yes, my husband and I were together then. Even when I was in high school, I was with my husband. I had been with my husband since I was in 7th grade. Just so you all know a little bit of history. So when you see me, I want you to see longevity, because that's what it was, longevity. So with that being said, I've always been a singer. I've always been, if you will, that church girl, that I gotta sing girl. I'm singing, I'm out there with my group, I'm with the choirs, in Danville. And when I had a chance to come back to Chicago, of course, yes, I'm gonna sing. One of my favorite groups was the Chicago Mass Choir. Never thought in the world that I would be a part of the Chicago Mass Choir. But my favorite song was I Can Go to the Rock back then, and I to meet Pam Crawford. Pam Crawford was my idol, y'all. She was just the in girl for me. Pam Crawford was just everything. Long story short, I end up being her armor bearer. I end up singing with her background, whatever it is that Pam Crawford needed, I was there. But I had to meet this little woman that was so powerful. She showed me at an early age, what it was to be in ministry, to be single and in ministry, to be in a committed relationship and in the music industry, and how to balance the two. This came from Pam Crawford, not just from Pam Crawford, but from Evangelist Lemmy Battles too. Another one of my favorites. I had to meet her too. So everything that I knew and wanted to do was around Chicago Mass Choir. Although I am a Tommy's baby, I love everything about the Thompson Community Singers. I call them Uncle Milton Bronson and the Thompson Community Singers, because Milton Bronson and my grandfather were very close friends. And I used to see him a lot. We used to see him a lot. And it was just music, back in that time, in that era, in the late 80s and 90s, that I was so intrigued about. Music was my life. Music was my thing, and I just thank God for the gift of not just singing back then, but singing brought forth acting, singing brought forth even me being a model. Did you all know that I used to model? I was a little bitty skinny somebody. I used to model. I did a lot of headshots. Once I got into okay, y'all, my weakness is chocolate ice cream. So once I got into the chocolate ice cream, I started to expand a little bit. Once I got out of high school, and I was no longer the cheerleader. Once I stopped, once I came back from Texas, after for the DCC, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, I started to gain the weight, and at that point, that's when my husband was saying, okay, it's time to settle down. We're going to get married in 2 weeks. He didn't ask me to marry him. He's going to get married. And in 2 weeks, by the grace of God, I was married to Reverend Sherman Bloomingburg Sr. And that lasted 27 years, but altogether we were together much longer than that. He was always my best friend. Being single and in the music, he was always a support. He came to support me in everything that I did, be it singing, being it acting, being it modeling, whatsoever it was, speaking. Once I became a minister, he was there. He was there all the time, just like Jesus. My husband was there, even while we started planning our family, he prayed for my oldest child, my daughter, to get here so that he could have 2 of me. And I'm like, no, that may not turn out to be, and it didn't, because my daughter does not sing. She can sing now. She can sing her face off. My daughter can blow. My son can too. I think my son is more into singing than my daughter is, but coming from being single to being in a committed relationship with my husband, it was a little difficult, but being single, I was able to rip and run up and down the streets with the choirs, with the groups I was in, Marcus Emmanuel Cork and Rejoice. I was all over the place, praise to following up behind New Direction. Now listen, I wasn't a part of New Direction. A lot of people thought I was because I followed them, but I was not ever a part of New Direction or Joshua's Troop. I am strictly praise to Chicago Mass. And I was Marcus Emmanuel Cork and Rejoice, which was really a good choir. But when I really totally gave my life to singing, I was with Tony Tidwell and Righteous Living Ministries, RLM for life. Righteous Living Ministries and Tony Tidwell. I cannot go without giving homage to Tony Tidwell, because it was a lot of his training that got me where I am, and it got me out of being afraid, if you will, to sing. So me and this girl Monique, we would sing soprano, and we would just sing, honey. We was some singing. They call us some screaming soprano, screaming. But I was newly well, I'm not going to say I was newly married, but I was freshly married. And I was singing with Tony Tidwell in Righteous Living. And he would come to the concerts. My kids were small, and he would be like, just go and sing when I come home. Or before I left, let me start there. Before I left, I made sure that everything at home was together. But what did that do for me? Singing in the music industry, in the music world, I learned a lot. I learned how to be organized. You have to be organized when doing that. You had to make sure that your uniforms were together. You had the proper hairstyles, the makeup, and all that other kind of stuff. If you were into that stuff, oh, for you all that know me, I'm a girly girl. My makeup had to be what it is, and you all know for a fact that I don't really wear makeup, but my lip gloss and my eyes, eyeliner had to be right. This ponytail I've been rocking for many years. And a lot of people don't know that I really do have a lot of it. I have a lot of hair. I just don't like combing it. I don't like combing it. And that was another thing with my husband, being married in the music industry. Why don't you ever wear your natural hair down? Well, for those of you who don't know, I have really curly hair. My hair like this, it curls. I have curly hair. It looked like I would have a curly Puerto Rican afro. And basically that's what it was, or would be, or is. That's what it is. And I will tell him I have to be stage ready. My stage presence has to be what it is. Stage presence is a lot. You could be there on the stage and people not see you or notice you. But if you are stage present, people will notice you. People will see you. People will recognize you for who you are and what you are. Okay. That being said, when I was single and in the music industry, I had a lot of, and I know I'm flip-flopping, but I want to go back to this single thing, because I'm seeing some things out there with someone or some people, and I'm like, just because you're single does not mean that you have to go and mingle with everyone. That puts a sour taste in people's mouth, a bad taste in people's mouth. And that's just something that you don't all the time want or will all the time need. That's not what you need in your life. What you need in your life is to get some sound doctrine in your life and to know God and to be able to sing what you read about. So if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. And if you're going to walk the walk, talk the talk, sing about what you learned. So with that being said, go to church, get some word, or whatever you do, however you get your word in you so you'll know what you're singing about. And I learned that while being single. My sister, my radio sister, we call each other radio sisters, but I love me some Evangelist Tanya Cuffy, you all. I love that girl like she is my own biological sister, and her mom, Mama Cuffy. Hey, Mama Cuffy, I love you too, darling. I just love you. Singled out for this moment in time. You know, she talked to the singles and things like that, but I'm on a whole different level right now with the things that she's talking about, because I want you all to know what it was like to grow up the way that I grew up in the music ministry. And when I say grow up in the music ministry, I'm looking for my announcements. I literally had to grow up in the music ministry because I didn't know anything about this. I just knew that I love watching Reverend Milton Bronson and Tyrone Block direct that choir. I knew that when coming forth after that, you know, I wanted to see Dr. Ricky Dillard with New Generation. I'm like, that's a bad man right there. Ooh. Then came Percy Gray. Then came Tony Tidwell, then Percy Gray. You know, and I'm like, well, those in the order that I was singing. And I'm like, I have to be that. But I had to learn how not to be the singer that was a groupie and had to sing with everybody. I said something. Every choir has different spirits. Not saying that they're bad, but is that spirit conducive to your life and the things that you want to do in your life when you're out there singing? Is that choir the choir that you need to be playing for? Is it conducive to your spirit? And or the teachings that your parents put in you if you were a church-based family, a Bible-based family, if you will. You have to be all of that to be a singer. You know, it's good to be that young person. I know y'all out there, y'all into the Kimberells, the runs, the riffs, and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, that's all good. But I like old school flat foot sing. Here I go back to my sister, Evangelist Tanya Cuffy. To me, can't nobody beat her singing. To me, can't nobody beat Tanya Cuffy singing. I promise you. I promise you. It's something that she can, you know, could probably match her, you know, but you're not gonna beat my sister singing. She could sing you under a pew and sit you back down and you go back in. I probably, that's my sister like that. Look at her being single and out there, and I'm not trying to put her business out there, but she's out there, but she stays in her word. She speaks the word. She walks the word. She sleeps the word. She eats the word. She's a doer of the word. She is the word. And when I see single like that and in ministry, in the music ministry, I'm like, that's a role model. I see a lot of that, you know, in myself, you know, and I'm the oldest, you know, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm older than Evangelist Tanya Cuffy, but there are some things that I have learned from my sister. And I'm pretty sure that she learns things as she goes along, you know, but how to be obedient to the Spirit of God, how to listen to what the heart of the people are saying in the room, how to read the room, you know, before you start to minister. And she doesn't know this, but I've watched her minister quite a few times, and I've watched how she scanned the room. I watch how she listens to the Holy Spirit. She don't know that I watch her when she closes her eyes and she listens to the Holy Spirit, and she'll just say, you know, she'll just, and I watch that. Being single and knowing what's around you, what's surrounding you in the music ministry is what I love about the music ministry and watching Evangelist Tanya Cuffy sing. Let's go to being married and in the music industry. You have to watch these musicians and these singers that are coming to you. They'll try to spit some game and try to get you, let's just get you in bed, and it will taint and tarnish what you tried to build or what you have built and what you are building towards. You got to be careful. So I watch Evangelist Lemmy Battles, and I'm using her as an example because can't nobody be no more in love than Lemmy Battles and her husband. And also I watch Evangelist, or I call her Dr. Janet Sutton. I watch her and her husband. Oh my God, the epitome of love and music ministry together cohesively. Then I just love to watch them together. I can't. LaVonja Hubbard. You can't beat it. What more can you say? Her husband supports her. Now, LaVonja Hubbard is in her relation. That's more so how my husband was. He low key behind the scenes. He didn't really want to too much be seen. But then you have Evangelist Lemmy Battles. Her husband is present. He's very much so present. She cooks, she cleans, she makes sure that he's together before she leaves and get on the airplane and go anywhere. She gets a blessing from her husband. She gets the okay from her husband, before and she gets the okay from God, and she's able to move and breathe and just bring in the house of the Lord. Lemmy Battles is somebody. She's somebody. I watch her poise. I watch how she moves. She doesn't give people a reason to come to her foul or sideways when she's out there ministering. She comes direct and to the point. I love the Lord. She gives her cancer testimony, 3-time throat cancer survivor. Every time I hear it, I thank God for her, because without her, without Janice Sutton, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't. Without LaVonja Hubbard, I wouldn't be here today. Because I watch these women of God in their marriages and they're out there singing. And I'm like, that's how I need to be with my marriage. And a lot of that I sing, being a female out there in the music industry, I learned a lot. Cook, clean, took care of my husband, went to work, went to school, took care of my children, had everything in order. It wasn't about the money. True enough, the money is out there. If that's what you're out there for, the prestigious parts of it or whatever, I'm out there because I have something that the Lord gave me in my heart. See, my heart, God gave me something. God gave Lemmy something. God gave LaVonja something. God gave Janice something to go out there and sing about. And they did that, be it directing, be it singing, being it preaching, being it just going out there to encourage somebody. They did that while they were married, and they're still married. Do I wish I was still married? I do. Am I out here making a plea to get married or anything like that? Listen, let me say something. I am totally satisfied with the 27 years that I had. Do I miss being married? I do miss companionship. But what I don't miss is the foolishness that I'm seeing out here in these streets. Y'all better be careful. You better be careful. Everybody that's out there saying that they're going to help you in the music ministry and that they want to be with you to help coach you and things like that, they have hidden agendas. What's your agenda? What's your agenda? Y'all, I'm going to take a break and read these announcements real quick. I have an announcement to read about something that's coming up. And this is from one of my brothers. His name is Curtis Hall. I call him Twin. And this is going to be for this weekend, y'all. This weekend. So AC Productions presents Men of God CD release. This is going to be August 23rd. August 23rd. Somebody say August 23rd. This is going to be August 23rd at 6 p.m. Don't be late. Please don't be late, because this brother, he starts on time. This is going to be from AC Productions, Men of God, CD release. And guess where it's going to be, y'all? It's going to be at the Monument of Faith Church. Monument of Faith. Y'all remember Richard D. Hinton? Yeah, Pastor Richard D. Hinton. This is going to be at his church. Rest in peace, Pastor Hinton. At the Monument of Faith Church, 2750 West Columbus Avenue. 2750 West Columbus Avenue. The host pastor is going to be Apostle Mark Hinton. That's Pastor Hinton's son, Apostle Hinton's son. And Lady Grace Hinton. She's such a beautiful person, y'all. She is such a beautiful person. Cliff the Voice and Divine is going to be there. A-Hop is going to be there with Bishop Ron Woods. That's my brother. I love me some Ron Woods. His wife, Maika, is just the sweetest. Y'all, I know some everybody, don't I? But anyway, back to this announcement. It's a free concert. VIP seating, it says free concert, but the VIP seating is $35, CD included. You can send donations to Zelle 773-717-9288. 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. 773 717 9288. For more information, you can contact that same number, 773-717-9288. Mark it, plan it, and don't miss it. Let me rewind. Mark it, plan it, and don't miss it. This is going to be for the Men of God CD release concert. Listen, if y'all want that VIP and that CD to be included, it'll be $35. Again, that Zelle information is 773-717-9288. And this is from my brother Curtis Hall. Y'all know what? Pastor James Taylor and Sounds is going to be there. Daniel Hardy and the Assembly. This is going to be some kind of concert here, y'all. And guess what? Yours truly is going to be there. Yours truly is going to be there. I support my brother, Curtis Hall. We call each other twin. I was born a twin. He's a twin. Twins stick together. Even though we're not twins, we stick together. And I just want you guys to come on out for AC Productions CD release of Men of God. That's going to be August 23rd at the Monument of Faith at 2750 West Columbus Avenue, promptly at 6:00 p.m. Now, some of y'all know they have a big parking lot, but that don't mean you be late. Don't come walking up in there at 6:30 thinking that it's okay. Y'all, that's not okay. Let's show some respect to the Men of God and come on in there and have a good time on August 23rd at 6 p.m. at Monument of Faith for their CD release. You would want somebody to support you, so let's go out and support them. Also, I want to say good job and congratulations to my little brother and fellow choir member at the Greater House of Prayer, Minister Tramel Hoover, for doing the Sing Your Way competition that he did. Even though he did not win, I just want to congratulate him for a job well done. TJ has done so much out here in this music industry. He's a singer, he's a preacher, he's a mentor, he's a man that has been on his job. That man goes to work. He does everything that he has to do in order to make it out here in this music industry. So for Minister Tramel Hoover, I call him my TJ. He's my TJ. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some TJ. I'm going to congratulate him for a job well done. I watch his videos all the time, and I watch him even in church when he's teaching choirs and going forth, praising the Lord and in ministry of song. He is just such an amazing young man of God, and I thank God for our paths crossing. So once again, y'all check out Tramel J. Hoover on Facebook and Instagram and learn about this young man of God and support him in the things that he's doing. Also, I want to thank you all for voting for me for the Gospel Choice Music Award. Myself and my little brother Lafayette Brown, we were and are the recipients of the Gospel Choice Music Award Gospel House Music Award 2025. I'm out there. I'm still doing my thing, even though I'm sick or whatever. There's a way to get the music out there, even while you're sick, going through issues. He's going through issues with his health, but hey, we're winning awards. And I just want to thank you guys for actually voting and helping us to win. I want to thank WVTC Internet Radio and TV Network for the opportunity of being a part of their station. I want to thank Maestro Ramon Perry, which will be up at 7:00. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes so that we can all come on the Ramon Perry crew for the According to, there's my award, y'all. The Gospel Choice Music Award. Thank you to the engineer. Thank you. So thank you all, one and all, for that award. Thank you for voting. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in Lafayette. Thank you for believing in me, your humble servant, Dr. B. I just want to thank you guys for that. But I want to thank Ramon for just giving me the opportunity to even be on According to Your Faith and having my own show, This Where You Are Now. Polos and Pearls with Dr. B. I am she is me is her. And I thank you guys. So let's get back to the subject, you all. I just want to, and I want to thank my co-host. I want to, my co-host, Will James. He's not here, but I just want to thank him. I think he's out of town overseas or something like that right now. This man is traveling, but another very productive young man, proud to be a host with him. And I just want to thank him for even considering being on here. Also, all the guests and everything that I've had, I want to thank them. And I want to thank Reverend Morris and congratulate Reverend Morris. He knows why. And I have my key. That's all I got to say. That's all y'all need to know, Reverend Morris. I have my key. To Lady Latrice, I love you, man. There's nothing you can do about it. So y'all, back to being in the music industry and being single, in a relationship, and or married. I thank God for putting me where he is. Even though I'm single, I have lots and lots of brothers who take care of me, be it here in Chicago or surrounding areas. I even have a brother all the way out in Kentucky, Montana. I have a brother in Montana, that takes care of. These are my older brothers, my big brothers in Kansas City, Missouri. Elder Anthony Evans, who was just elevated to bishop. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. God knows I have some brothers, and when I need them, I have to say that they're there. I don't call on them for anything. I just talk to them. They listen and they give me advice. Little sis, you need to do this. Baby sister, you need this. They call me baby sister. I don't know why they call me baby, but I am the baby of the group. And I'm old, but I'm the baby of the group. And I just want to thank them for always being there. But the advice, how to do things, how to present things. And these are not singers, but I listen to my brothers on how to protect myself and how to gird myself when I'm out there, what to look for when these people are out there trying to be in my ear, because I never really had to, do the dating thing, because my husband and I, again, I was with him since I was in 7th grade, and what I know about dating, I know Sherman, I know that. Have I had other friends and things like that? Yes, I have. There was even the time when my husband and I did have our sabbatical where he branched off and was with someone else, and so was I. It didn't last. We ended up back together. And I have to say this, even in the music industry, even when we were separated, my husband followed me to my engagements. He was still my protector. He was still my knight in shining armor. That's what Mr. Bloomingberg was to me. And I thank God for the time that we had. Why am I talking about this so much? Is because it's coming up on 5 years. It's almost 5 years that the Lord, 6 years, I'm sorry, that the Lord, no, it's been 5 years that the Lord took my husband and my sister away from me. So my husband passed, and then my sister, 3 weeks after he went to be with the Lord. And it's a little rough, it's still a little rough on me, but I thank God for that time. I do have friends and people to be around. I have 2 amazing best friends, and I just thank God for them. I even thank God for my caregiver. She's amazing. She's amazing. And when I really need a listening ear, she's there. She's a minister, and she takes care of me when I need it, and I'm so forever grateful that she was assigned to me. I want to thank God for her. And I want to thank God for even my classmates over at Westinghouse High School, that took care of me. And I literally had to just trust in the Lord, while I was sick, and just be one with him. And It took a lot of prayer, and it's taken a lot of strength to stay in this music industry. I'm going to say this. I have letters of resignation written and waiting because I don't know what turn my health is going to take next. Not saying that it's going to go bad, not saying that it's going to be all great and glorious. I don't know because I'm not God. I'm trusting God. I have faith, but I have letters of resignation because I don't want to say that I'm gonna be a part of something and then I'm lacking, I'm slacking, I'm not present, I'm not there. Remember I said, people see you when you're present, when your presence is present, they see you. But when you're not there and you're like, oh, was me, then no. I remember last year, I got a chance to do the spring concert with Chicago Mass Choir, and I had just not too long before that had another kidney surgery. I was in so much pain. My neuropathy was kicking, and after I stopped singing, my side a little bit, but I just kept on going. I kept on going. I do know now that I am a 5-song minimum max. No, that 5-song max. Even at church, when I know that I can't do it, I sit down, and my choir at GHOP, they really, really do care about how I'm doing, and they take care of me as well. But I had to activate some faith. I had to stretch out on God when I was single and being in the ministry of music, and even in the ministry of acting and modeling and nursing and all the other things that I did being single. I really had to, stretch out on God and get my faith together. Even being in the relationships that I was in, the relationship with my husband, I had to stretch out on God, activate the faith, um, being in a relationship with my husband, even while we were on our sabbatical, I had to, trust in the Lord. I had to have some faith. But one thing about it is that when my husband missed me and I missed him, what you doing? Where you at? What you doing? I'd be right there. We never missed the anniversary. We never missed the birthday. We never missed a holiday, regardless of whether we were separated or on a sabbatical, whatever you want to call it or not. We never missed any of that. He always came home for dinner. I wouldn't say that's really separated, y'all. I don't know. I guess he got tired. I got tired. I don't know, but that's what it was. So being in the music ministry is not always peaches and cream when you're single, whether you're in a relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, or if you're married. It's not always easy, but it teaches you how to be obedient to the Spirit of God. It teaches you how to be organized. It teaches you how to be a doer of the Word of God. It teaches you how to be in your word so that you can know what you're singing about. I can't help but be emotional. But I thank God for all that He's done for me in my musical career. I just thank God for where I've been, where I'm going, what He's doing. I even thank Him for the new songs that are about to come out, y'all. There's some more stuff coming out. Yes, I do gospel house, but I'm doing some churchy stuff now. Well, the next song coming out will be gospel house, but the one after that I'm working on right now, currently in the studio for, it's going to be churchy. So you all look out, because Dr.B coming, Netta B coming, Miss B coming, whatever y'all want to call me. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. And again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for joining in on this live. I want to thank my engineer for being there and helping me out. You all stay tuned for Maestro Ramon Perry, Dr. Perry, myself, Evangelist Cuffy. I don't know if Dr. Newman will be on, but we're all headed over to According to Your Faith. We're all going to be remote again, but you all, I want to thank you for the time and listening. I hope I've said something to help somebody to be present, to walk with the Lord and know what you're singing, who you're singing to. And let me tell you something, ladies and men, these clothes that y'all wearing on these stages, make sure they right. Make sure they right. That's all I'm going to say about it. Make sure they right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of Polos and Pearls. I hope I've said something to help you. I hope I've said something to encourage you. I just want to say to those who are aspiring and going out there wanting to be singers and being in the music industry, go ahead and do what you got to do. There are going to be a lot of no's, but for every no, there's going to be another yes. You can have every door closed in your face, but that's the door that man closed. When God closes that door, it's going to stay closed, but he's going to open up more doors than that one that man had closed. So to that one, God can open up 3, 5, 7, 10. You never know. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Not what I heard, but what I lived. When God opens the door is open. Just be ready to walk through and to receive what thus saith the Lord. Never give up. Take everything you do in stride. Don't turn back like Lot's wife. We don't want you turning into a pillar of salt. Just keep on moving forward. Just keep on moving forward. God will direct your path in everything that you want to do. I wanted to go to school. And God said, okay, go on to school. It took me 15, 20 years to get what I have, but I did it. I kept on going, persevered, and you guys can do it too. So once again, let's not forget about the concert on August 23rd at 6:00 at Monument of Faith for the Men of God. VIP will be $35 with the CD included. You don't want to miss the Men of God concert. You know, my brother Bishop Ron Woods will be there. It's a lot of people going to be there. Cliff Du Bois is going to be there, and many more. You all, come on, don't just meet me there, beat me there. And until next Thursday, hopefully I can get the guests to come on in and to be a part of the show. I know I've been missing a while, but you all, I'm having a lot of comebacks, even with me selling my jewelry. I'm coming back. Paparazzi, Dr. Bliss Blings is back. I got some orders that's coming in now. I got one today, as you can see. And I'm just ready to be me again. I'm ready to be me again. So you guys are going to see me back out there in the field singing. Been to the dentist and got fitted for all my teeth and everything. Yes, I have been. My hair is in areas that was coming out is starting to grow back in. You know, when you go through those things and you're in anesthesia and things like that, you know, things start to happen. Things are starting to happen. So with that being said, things are coming back in order and things are in divine order because the Lord is able. And I know that he's able. And I know for a fact, and I trust God that he's going to continue to work a miracle in my life because I've stretched out on faith so many times. Even now, I'm stretching out on faith because God is such an awesome God. Stay single, stay in your committed relationships, stay married, get married so that you don't have to be single in a committed relationship. Just be one with the Lord and with your spouse. Again, be present, be humble to the Lord, stretch out on your faith, and God is going to take you to places and higher heights. And know that I said that. And I hope I said something to encourage you and to keep you present with the Lord. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing that you could do about it because Dr. B said so. And because I said so, know that you have just been doctored. Enjoy your evening. Mwah. I love you.
to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ. WVTC Allsip Chicago. An iNetworks communication station.